Hi, I'm Christina, and today I'm going to update you on my Reading Around the World challenge. So I started this challenge in 2020, which is the same year in which I started my YouTube channel, and I just thought this would be a really fun and interesting challenge to kind of guide my reading, and I'm just really looking forward to reading books from authors all around the world. Now I know this is going to take me a very long time. It's going to take years and years and years, and I'm absolutely okay with that. There's no rush here at all. So there are 195 recognised countries in the world, and I have read 23 so far. So I'll just give you a little bit of update from the countries that I've actually read, and I also have a map of the world that I've printed off and coloured in, and I also have a map of Europe, just because on the world map Europe got very, very tiny, and I just thought I need to kind of zoom into that little section of the world and kind of focus on that bit too, because otherwise there's countries that will literally not show up on the world map. So let me start you by saying which countries I read from in 2020. So in 2020 I read from 11 countries, and obviously at the very beginning I ticked off some of the kind of bigger ones like America and England, etc. So in 2020 I read from America, England, Ireland, Northern Ireland, Cyprus, Scotland, Australia, Canada, France, Sweden and Iran. So pretty chuffed with that. I started well, and then I must admit going forwards kind of eased off a little bit with my progress, but for 2024 I'm definitely going to try and make this more of a focus. And then in 2021 I read from 5 different countries. I read from Vietnam, Nigeria, Japan, Italy and China. And then in 2022, it was another 5 different countries. I have Turkey, New Zealand, Egypt, South Korea and Indonesia. And then this year in 2023, I've actually only ticked off from 2 countries. I've ticked off from Wales and Belgium. So I think with it being already nearer the end of the year, probably not going to be able to focus too much on my 2023 ones, but going into 2024 I want to try and make it a little bit more of a priority. So yeah, I'm pretty chuffed with that. So over 4 years I've read from 23 different countries, so authors from all over the world so far. Now I only read probably about 40 books a year. It used to be about 52 books a year when it was COVID times, because obviously we didn't have much else to do. I was working from home all the time. And then more recently it's fallen to about 40 books a year. And then this year I've barely read all that much at all. I think I'm sitting at 20 something books. So I'm not expecting this to be able to pick up super fast, to be honest. But like I say, this is meant to be just like a fun reading challenge to kind of guide myself around the world and just read from lots of different authors that I probably wouldn't have picked up if it hadn't been for this challenge. So let me just show you my maps because I'm all about having a visual representation. So this one, as you can see, I've ticked off some of the bigger areas over here just thanks to Canada and America. Obviously looks like I've made some good progress. I think for next year I would definitely like to read a book from a Russian author, because as well that would make it look like I have some big progress because it's such a large landmass. Something as well next year that I'd like to focus on is South America. I've literally not read a book from any authors in South America, but I had a little look at my TBR and I had a little look at my books that are kind of on my wish list, and I have a few in South America, so that's good, and will also give me an excuse to buy those if I want to. And then doing okay around this section. Obviously I've got China, I've got Japan, I've got Korea, I've got Australia, New Zealand, Indonesia, etc. Africa, it's not looking too great. I've only got 2. I've got Egypt and Nigeria, so probably like to focus a little bit more on Africa too. And then with Europe, I'm gonna pick up my Europe map because it's far too tiny to look at Europe in any detail. So let me get to that one. So okay, so here is my Europe map, and I've done the whole of the UK, so that's good. I've done England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland and Ireland too. And then I've also done okay in the nearer areas of Europe. I've got Belgium, I've got France, I've got Italy. I would definitely next year like to get a book from Germany, Poland and Spain. I was shocked that I haven't read a book by a Spanish author. So that kind of area of Europe is what I'd like to focus on next year. And then I've also got obviously Sweden, Italy, Turkey and Cyprus. So yeah, a little bit more around this area would be nice. But I think next year I should definitely try and read a book from Germany. I've actually got one on my TBR, so that's perfect. And I definitely like to read from like Poland, Austria, Spain, Portugal, etc. And I think there's a couple of books I've got my eye on my wish list from a Spanish author, so that would be good too. So that is where I'm at with this. So basically now I'm just going to ask you for some of your recommendations. If you're also doing a kind of reading around the world challenge, or if you're not kind of officially doing it and you're just trying to read more diversely and just reading books from authors in all sorts of different countries, then I'd love to know some of your favourite books, so I can add them to my TBR. Probably not going to remember all the ones I've just said, but yeah, if you have any recommendations for like Iceland, Denmark, Poland, Austria, Hungary, Romania, Bulgaria, all of this kind of area, Greece as well. I've been to Greece twice now, this year and last year. It was absolutely wonderful. I'd love to read a book by a Greek author, and yeah, Spain, Portugal, that kind of area. And then in the bigger one, if you have recommendations for any books in Africa at all, I've done Egypt and Nigeria, but otherwise the whole of Africa would be wonderful. And then yeah, any South American ones too would be really, really good. I feel like that's kind of where I should be focusing for now. I don't want to focus on too much because there'd be far too many. Also Mexico, a Mexican author would be brilliant. Actually, I have one on my wish list from a Mexican author, so I might be okay with that one. Put that one to one side. But yeah, South America, again, I got a couple on my wish list from, I think it was Brazil and I think it was Argentina. But anywhere else, I mean, even those, to be honest. And then yeah, South Africa and a few little bits of Europe, like I just said, like this bit of Europe that I'm kind of missing. I'm doing okay here. So yes. So that's basically my update on my reading around the world challenge. Actually, just quickly, I'm also tracking in terms of the continents. So there's 7 continents in the world. We've got North America, South America, Europe, Africa, Antarctica, Asia and Australasia. So in terms of the continents, I'm just going to give you a little roundup. So in North America, 2. In South America, 0. In Europe, 11 countries. So I'm doing really, really well in terms of Europe, which again doesn't surprise me because I was kind of focusing on that. Africa, I have 2. Antarctica, 0. Asia, 6. So I'm doing okay there. And Australasia, 2. So yeah, doing very well in Europe. Doing okay in Asia, not very well in Africa, not well at all in South America. So yes, so that's that little bit. I will just say, obviously, when you've read one book from Canada and one book from America, you can obviously, you know, colour it all in. I'm actually doing a separate one for America. So obviously I'm British, I've never actually been to America, so I'm trying to read from all the states in America too. I started that at the same time in 2020. I don't think I've made quite as much progress on that one as the Reading Around the World challenge, because sometimes it's actually hard to find out which state someone is from in America. You know, they might not actually say exactly where they're from, you just know they're American. So I've had a few ones by American authors. I actually don't know what state they're from, so I can't include them. But that's a whole different story, complete tangent. So I'm also tracking my US states, the authors from around America, and I'm going to do that one in a separate video and just kind of update you separately on that. Going forward, I was thinking I could do something, obviously with being from England, looking at like the counties in England or the cities, and then when I realised how difficult it was to actually find out what particular state some people are from in America, it's also just as difficult to find out where people are from in the UK. Like, it can be quite difficult. So sometimes it does tell you like, oh, you know, so-and-so was born in Shropshire, but sometimes they just say British. So we're not going to get too bogged down in all of that. So yeah, I feel like I'm doing relatively okay. 23 countries out of 195, still a very, very long way to go. Over 4 years. If you are also on the challenge and if you'd like some recommendations for some books that I've read, if you're also trying to do it, just let me know down in the comments and I'll do my best to let you know which ones I've read that I would recommend to you. So yeah, I've done, just as a complete little cap of what I have actually done, I've done America, England, Ireland, Northern Ireland, Cyprus, Scotland, Australia, Canada, France, Sweden, Iran. Vietnam, Nigeria, Japan, Italy, China, Turkey, New Zealand, Egypt, South Korea, Indonesia, Wales and Belgium. So yeah, quite chuffed with that. Still a long way to go. Very much looking forward to continuing this challenge throughout the years. Definitely years and years and years. And yeah. So thank you so much for watching. Please do like the video if you've liked it, and please do subscribe if you'd like to hear more of me talking about books, and if you would like to follow me on this Reading Around the World challenge over the coming years, possibly longer. See you in my next one. Bye.